Hey, we are in Proverbs, the 29th chapter through 31. We're going to finish up Proverbs today. Chapter 30 is attributed to a man by the name of Agur. These are the only words that we have recorded of this man. We're not sure who he is. Some say it's another name for Solomon, but that's not very likely. He's probably just a public teacher that Solomon had learned some wisdom from. But whoever he was, as you're going to see when we read chapter 30, that he was a pretty interesting kind of guy. In chapter 31, it's attributed to King Lemuel. We don't know who this guy was either. He's not listed among the kings of the Israel or of Judah. He is probably a pagan king who has put his trust in the Lord. So let's get started in reading Proverbs, the 29th chapter. If you keep being stubborn, after many warnings, you will suddenly discover you have gone too far. When justice rules a nation, everyone is glad. When injustice rules, everyone groans. If you love wisdom, your parents will be glad. But chasing after bad women will cost you everything. An honest ruler makes the nation strong. A ruler who takes bribes will bring it to ruin. Flattery is nothing less than setting a trap. Your sins will catch you, but everyone who lives right will sing and celebrate. The wicked don't care about the rights of the poor, but good people do. Sneering at others is a spark that sets a city on fire. Using good sense can put out the flames of anger. Be wise and don't sue a fool. You won't get satisfaction because all the fool will do is sneer and shout. A murderer hates everyone who is honest and lives right. Don't be a fool and quickly lose your temper. Be sensible and patient. A ruler who listens to lies will have corrupt officials. The poor and all who abuse them must each depend on God for light. Kings who are fair to the poor will rule a long time. Correct your children, and they will be wise. Children out of control disgrace their mothers. Crime increases when crooks are in power, but law-abiding citizens will see them fall. If you correct your children, they will bring you peace and happiness. Without guidance from God, law and order disappear, but God blesses everyone who obeys his law. Even when servants are smart, it takes more than words to make them obey. There is more hope for a fool than for someone who speaks without thinking. Slaves that you treat kindly from their childhood will cause you sorrow. A person with a quick temper stirs up arguments and commits a lot of sins. Too much pride brings disgrace. Humility leads to honor. If you take part in a crime, you are your worst enemy, because even under oath, you can't tell the truth. Don't fall into the trap of being a coward. Trust the Lord, and you will be safe. Many try to make friends with a ruler, but justice comes from the Lord. Good people and criminals can't stand each other. These are the sayings and the message of Agur, son of Jekah. Someone cries out to God, I am completely worn out. How can I last? I am far too stupid to be considered human. I never was wise, and I don't understand what God is like. Has anyone gone up to heaven and come back down? Has anyone grabbed hold of the wind? Has anyone wrapped up the sea or marked out boundaries for the earth? If you know of any who have done such things, then tell me their names and their children's names. Everything God says is true, and it's a shield for all who come to him for safety. Don't change what God has said. He will correct you and show that you are a liar. There are two things, Lord, I want you to do for me before I die. Make me absolutely honest, and don't let me be too poor or too rich. Give me just what I need. If I have too much to eat, I might forget about you. If I don't have enough, I might steal and disgrace your name. Don't tell a slave owner something bad about one of the slaves. That slave will curse you, and you will be in trouble. Some people curse their father and even their mother. Others think they are perfect, but they are stained by sin. Some people are stuck up and act like snobs. Others are so greedy that they gobble up the poor and homeless. Greed has twins, each named Give Me. There are 3 or 4 things that are never satisfied: the world of the dead and a childless wife, the thirsty earth and a flaming fire. Don't make fun of your father or disobey your mother. Crows will peck out your eyes and buzzards will eat the rest of you. There are 3 or 4 things I cannot understand: how eagles fly so high, or snakes crawl on rocks, how ships sail the ocean, or people fall in love. An unfaithful wife says sleeping with another man is as natural as eating. There are 3 or 4 things that make the earth tremble and are unbearable: a slave who becomes king, a fool who eats too much, a hateful woman who finds a husband, and a slave who takes the place of the woman who owns her. On this earth, 4 things are small but very wise: ants, who seem feeble but store up food all summer long; badgers, who seem to be weak but live among the rocks; locusts, who have no king but march like an army; lizards, which can be caught in your hand but sneak into palaces. 3 or 4 creatures really strut around: those fearless lions who rule the jungle, those proud roosters, those mountain goats, and those rulers who have no enemies. If you are foolishly bragging or planning something evil, then stop it now. If you churn milk, you get butter. If you pound on your nose, you get blood. And if you stay angry, you get in trouble. These are the sayings that King Lemuel of Massa was taught by his mother. My son Lemuel, you were born in answer to my prayers, so listen carefully. Don't waste your life chasing after women. That has ruined many kings. Kings and leaders should not get drunk or even want to drink. Drinking makes you forget your responsibilities and you mistreat the poor. Beer and wine are only for the dying or for those who have lost all hope. Let them drink and forget how poor and miserable they feel. But you must defend those who are helpless and have no hope. Be fair and give justice to the poor and homeless. A truly good wife is the most precious treasure a man can find. Her husband depends on her, and she never lets him down. She is good to him every day of her life, and with her own hands she gladly makes clothes. She is like a sailing ship that brings food from across the sea. She gets up before daylight to prepare food for her family and for her servants. She knows how to buy land and how to plant a vineyard, and she always works hard. She knows when to buy or sell, and she stays busy until late at night. She spins her own cloth, and she helps the poor and the needy. Her family has warm clothing, and so she doesn't worry when it snows. She does her own sewing, and everything she wears is beautiful. Her husband is a well-known and respected leader in the city. She makes clothes to sell to the shop owners. She is strong and graceful, as well as cheerful about the future. Her words are sensible, and her advice is thoughtful. She takes good care of her family, and she is never lazy. Her children praise her with great pride. Her husband says, "There are many good women, but you are the best." Charm can be deceiving, and beauty fades away, but a woman who honors the Lord deserves to be praised. Show her respect. Praise her in public for what she has done. So chapter 31 is cool because it's the king telling us what his mama has taught him. What do moms want for their sons? Well, it's a virtuous wife. It's one that they can respect, and it's one that they're not afraid to show their love out in public. Well, that concludes the book of Proverbs. It has given us multiple ideas of how to live a good life while we're on earth. We've talked about money and work and sex and relationships and integrity and spirituality. And they're all wrapped up in this concept that God has given us called wisdom. The challenge for us is to seek it and to use it because God has made it available to you. Have a great day. Love you.